What's up, guys? It's Chris Spags here with our first video, and it's a topic that's near and dear to my heart, the world of dating apps. Obviously, personal use is one thing, but dating apps also appeal to me on a professional level. One of the things I'm best known for on the internet is a roundup of Tinder screenshots which I started over at Barstool Sports 4 years ago. And it's a feature that's been so popular that after I left Barstool, I still kept doing it because I heard from enough people who wanted to see it. I'm still doing it now over email at spagsemail.com. And the popularity of these features comes because dating apps are one of the most popular apps that you'll find in the entire ecosystem we have online. According to a study from eHarmony, there are 40 million Americans as of a couple years ago using dating apps, so these are something relevant to a lot of people's lives every single day. And why is it so popular with those tens of millions of people? It's simple. We do everything online these days. You order food online, you order clothes online, you order furniture online, you buy things you didn't even know existed, you've never seen in person. You'll spend hundreds of dollars on that online just because some person on Instagram told you to do it. So dating apps are a natural extension of that human mindset we have now, and it's a lot safer than going on eBay and trying to find a Russian mail order bride. Google Translate, not the most helpful. So besides the evolution of technology and human culture, what's good about dating apps? For one, you get to meet new people. Dating apps make the world a little smaller. If you're a finance guy in New York City, you work downtown, odds are you're not often coming across a teacher who lives on the Upper West Side. Even though that neighborhood's very close, people just don't get outside their little bubble. So dating apps give you a chance to get outside your bubble, and in a world where people get more and more insulated and have less experiences outside of their comfort zone, it's good to have different experiences. It's good to meet different people. It's good to hear about different backgrounds and then to share margaritas until you're willing to suck face with one another at 1 a.m. on a first date. Another good thing, it's just about increasing the odds. I mean, if you think about it, what are the odds of you meeting your soulmate really? So you're telling me if there's one person in this world for you, you're gonna be in the exact same location as them. You're gonna meet that person and actually talk to them. You're gonna have that conversation go well. You're asking a lot about this fictional soulmate situation. So at least with a dating app, you're increasing your odds. You're getting that big net to cast out there, grab a bunch of little fishies. Some of those fishies may have a peg leg. Some of those fishies may not want to do blowy things, but you know what? You're going to catch a lot of fishies. And there's a chance out of all those defective fish, you might find one that makes a fine sushi dinner. I think this metaphor may have gotten away from me. And of course, there's the fun of it all. You're just window shopping basically for women or men, all the vagina and penises you want, just one little swipe away, just like if you were browsing Nordstrom's website or going on Amazon. In some respects, it's a lot like human trafficking, but a lot less likelihood of Liam Neeson calling you up and threatening you with his special set of skills. And even though it's not like a food delivery service for sex like a lot of married people or older people who've never experienced dating app culture, it is a spot where maybe sometimes things with adult themes can happen. I'd say if you're going in expecting to be mashing your genitals together with another human being, it's a bad approach. You're doing it for the human connection first and foremost, and anything that comes beyond that is going to be a positive. And hopefully not a positive that comes when you visit your doctor for your regular annual checkup. But it does happen with two consenting adults whose standards have dropped enough to turn to the world of online dating, and there's a lot of opportunity out there for any gentleman with a good head on his shoulders or any ladies out there who want to be super empowered and pad their numbers like a young female Wilt Chamberlain. You can get out there and you can do that if you so choose. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows, so what's bad about dating apps? Vanity Fair did a long-form piece in 2015 breaking down all the negative psychology that comes with the disposability of how people approach dating apps. Obviously, that psychology lends itself to a bit of a Pokemon thing where you're trying to catch them all, hopefully not venereal diseases, but certainly trying to trap as many women or men as possible into your little Pokeballs. When your parents or grandparents had a fight, they had to work that out because they knew the options in their local region were all they had, and those options were not very good. That's why they ended up with your mom or your dad in the first place. Previous generations were stuck. You're not, so that's a positive, but it also does create a decision where you're always facing new choices, and that's sometimes not the best when you just need to choose and find somebody who you can be happy with. But if you fight now, even if you don't leave that person right away, you have that second thought, you're just a 10-second download away from a world of infinite possibilities. It's like entering the world of Narnia, but a situation in which Aslan may end up giving you herpes. And another choice-based issue, can you find the person who's actually the one? If there's always another one right around the corner, there's always going to be a bigger set of titties, there's always going to be a guy with better hair. That's a tough thing for a lot of people to swallow, given the fact that you're going to be stuck with this person potentially for the rest of your life. And in this influencer culture we have now, everybody wants more, everybody wants to improve their lives, everybody wants to have the best, the most, and you can't do that sometimes in dating. So what are the big dating apps out there that you need to know? The most famous one out there is the innovator Tinder, the first one that got a lot of regular regular people to join on board. But as the one that got all the regular people involved, Tinder is the biggest app, but it's also the one that's most inclined to be a living Reddit meme instead of something functional designed to get you to meet people who you actually want to hang out with. It started out cool, but really at this point, Tinder's more the gateway drug of dating apps. If I had to compare Tinder to a person you may know, it's like the friend you've grown up with. You've known them the longest, but you've been surprised as an adult they now like everything you hate and are in fact quite addicted to meth. And then we have Bumble, which is best known as the app where women message first. Yeah. Now, there are a lot of positives to giving women the power to dictate the conversation, and if you love pickup lines of hi smiley emoji or hey smiley emoji, then this is the app for you. But Bumble's still more good than bad, and it's even on NBA jerseys, so if you could trust anybody about choosing women, you could trust an NBA player. If I had to compare Bumble to a person you may know in real life, I'd say it's probably the feminist girl you know who's super serious about that whole thing, constantly refers to men as trash, but also will likely bang a dude in a bar bathroom without even knowing his last name on a first date. But that's empowerment for you. And then we have the League, and the League is an invitation-only app where new members have to be background checked by the company in order to get in there. Now, that does offer a degree of quality control, but it also could be a little pretentious, so I could see how some people may be turned off, especially if you're one of the people who doesn't get in. If I had to compare the League to a regular life situation many of us may know, it's like being outside a hot, trendy bar or a club, and you're getting in there and all of a sudden you're like, wow, this is great, this is everything I expected. Then all of a sudden you end up with a bucket of pig's blood dumped on your head like Carrie. And that pig's blood does not come out easily, I'll tell you what. And last but not least, the fourth horseman in our dating app apocalypse is Hinge. Hinge is a newer app which is similar to the others in functionality, but has a lot less trashy people, and I would say I find that to be a positive. Now, that phrase may not make it into their marketing materials, but it is a gimmick that actually does work, even though you may be skeptical because you've seen a lot of Instagram girls promoting this on their feeds. And if you can't trust the girls who sell you tummy tea and gummy bears that'll make your hair better, who can you trust? Now, Hinge is not as unique as the other apps, so if I had to compare it to a person you may know in real life, it's like the new kid at school who ends up being very cool because they steal all the other cool kids' ideas and the way they talk, and all of a sudden they're the most popular kid, while all the other cool kids are like, what the fuck happened? So in some respects, Hinge is Lindsay Lohan and Mean Girls, and that is the best version of Lindsay Lohan, scientifically proven. So what should you do if this video has convinced you to jump into the deep, shark-infested waters of dating apps? Rule number one for me, especially for guys, don't be a dick. Sure, in theory, it seems funny to be an asshole and send some dumb pickup lines to girls and send the screenshots to your buddies on a group text or to post them to Reddit and get some of that sweet, sweet internet karma. But generally speaking, I would say treating people like you would in person, not doing that, not attention whoring, and definitely not burying them in dick pics is a wise idea for any guy out there. So what else should you do? I'd say be a little more choosy with your swipes. Even though it's a nice ego boost, it can be really overwhelming when you end up with a bunch of matches, and it gets harder to weed out the good from the bad. So I would recommend being the detail-oriented version of yourself, the one who's looking at every single itemized deduction when you're doing your taxes, and I'd be less the version of you at 3 a.m. who's willing to perhaps have sex with a couch cushion if it has enough lipstick on it to pass for a human woman. And last on what you should do, I'd say be yourself, but not too much of yourself. The goal in any of these apps is to reveal enough of yourself to be just charming enough to get to meet in person. And then from there, you let actual human nature dictate where it goes. We're not out here making pen pals, we're trying to make real life connections. So just get to that end game in as polite and as kind and as entertaining of a way as possible. And then you could introduce the perfect Mr. or Mrs. Right to the real you, the great or terrible person that you actually are. But I'd save that one until after they've already put out. So whether you're a person who's trying to get out there or a person who's never gotten to experience the joy of dating apps because you're an idiot who decided to settle down before you had a chance to realize what technological advancement could do for your life and your genitals, regardless of which category you fall in, now you know everything you need to know about the world of dating apps in 2019. And no matter what you do, no matter who you may meet, one thing to remember, don't embarrass me out there. So like this video and leave a comment down below telling me your biggest dating horror story or positive. You know, let's go either way. Whatever's in your heart, you tell me in the comments because I want to know what's going on in your guys' world. And of course, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, share this video with a friend, or just tell a friend about my channel. I got a YouTube vanity URL, youtube.com/Chris Spags. I'm big ballin' now, motherfuckers. I'm YouTubing for real. So go tell people about this, share the video, get the word out there, help me out. Let's keep this community building and going. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon for another vloggy video, whatever you want to call this thing. Bye, guys.